Hey, what do you say, everyone? We have a preseason game that is going to be against the Chicago Sky. Our first look at the New York Liberty. I'm not sure if you were able to see the little vignette from training camp or media day, I should say. But I'm going to play it again and then we'll get into it. Lots of women's basketball news, lots of WNBA news. So we're going to talk about it and then get ready for the game. I was at open practice. I was at media day. I was at the pregame media with Sandy Brondello. So we can talk about all of that on this live episode of Gotta Get Up, a podcast for New York Liberty fans. Gotta get up, gotta get up, gotta get up. Hey, women's basketball fans, welcome to Gotta Get Up, a podcast for New York Liberty fans, brought to you by Black Rosie Media and hosted by Erica L. Ayala. All right, folks. Welcome. This is going to be a test run. We're going to do a watch along. Now, these are called watch alongs because I am not a WNBA rights holder, so I cannot stream the platform. We were using another platform, and sometimes we would get WNBA games. Playback was the platform, but they are not really hosting WNBA games anymore. So the way this works is all of us, myself included, we're going to watch either on the same screen or on a different screen the game. It's on WNBA League Pass. But what I will do is kind of like, it's almost like we're friends that are sitting in a living room, but instead of being in the same living room, we're in our own living room and just watching the game. But I got to go through my eye test with the New York Liberty at open practice. Now, it was an open practice, so things were a little bit different. It was a little more free-flowing, more trying to get the legs in action than really kind of running particular schemes and things of that nature. But did get to speak to Sandy Brondello. We have a Gotta Get Up overtime episode coming on Black Rosie Media Patreon with Jonquel Jones. And I tried my best to learn basketball phrases in 4 different languages. Now, Spanish is a language I'm familiar with. I don't speak it very well myself, but I can read it and I understand it pretty well. And so we got to speak to a few players as I got to ask them, what are some basketball phrases in different languages? Now, some languages I picked up, or some phrases I picked up pretty well, some not so much. And if you're a member of the Patreon posse, then you've already seen this video, but I'm going to play it again here. And yeah, as Mary Martinez is hilarious. Here's that video. First in Danish, how would you say basketball?
It's just basketball.
Just basketball, yeah. And in Swahili, same basketball. Okay. Baloncesto. Okay. How about block?
Bloqueo. Sí.
What about steal?
Steal. Cookies. No, I'm playing. You can say she took the ball, he took the ball. So like, hun tog bolden fra mig. That's in Danish.
Okay. And in Swahili, how would you say?
Alinibeba bola.
Aninibeba?
Alinibeba bola, or you can say Alinibeba kabumbu.
Oh, kabumbu. That one's fun.
I guess, Schrittfehler.
How do, I know, I'm like, my S's don't go that way.
Schrittfehler.
Okay.
I mean travel.
Travel. Okay.
It's like Schrittfehler.
Schritt.
Yeah.
Schritt.
Yeah.
Villa.
Fehler. Yeah.
Shit. I keep saying shit.
I know.
It's very close.
Yeah.
Okay, one more time.
Schritt.
I'm so glad I'm not the one on camera because this is you're probably like, this is hilarious. How about win?
Win.
In Danish?
Winner. Offensivfoul.
Yeah,
that was really good. Maybe you can even guess what it was.
Offensive foul.
Yes. Auf geht's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nope, don't got it.
It means let's go.
Oh, off geht's. Okay, gambare. That I know that one in Japanese.
Yeah.
There you go. Championship.
Championship? Campeonato. We will get a championship.
Okay, seguro, claro.
We will work hard for that, yeah.
All right, so that's a little bit of some of the stuff that we caught at open practice and media day. Off geht's, which means let's go. So let's go New York Liberty. Tonight we get to see the squad against the Chicago Sky. We heard from Sandy Brondello about an hour ago, and the goal is to give the starters time, get them in a game scenario so that they can tune some things up. I mentioned that we're going to have a Gotta Get Up overtime with Jonquel Jones. I'm going to let you watch that. It'll be up later this week, but I'll give you a little bit of a sneak peek of that. I was able to talk to Jonquel Jones about what her off-season process was. Did she watch back the WNBA finals? Asked Benijah Laney Hamilton that as well. So we'll have that over at the Patreon first, and then it will be available on the next episode of Gotta Get Up, which will also, again, be a watch along. And, you know, it was interesting to hear their responses, especially to, and they had different responses to how they kind of went about if they watched the finals, especially game 4 or not. So I thought that was interesting. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much. Again, this is going to be a watch along, so you're going to have to tune in on WNBA League Pass to watch the game, but we'll be here hanging out, and you can ask me questions. Like Damien has this question: what did you think of the open practice? As I just mentioned a minute ago, I don't think we're going to get a good gauge from an open practice. Open practice was for season ticket holders, whether you have a full season package, partial package, or whatnot. And, you know, it was really to open up the legs and the lungs, not so much to go through specific things. I really liked, and I posted some of this on Patreon, but I really liked the no dribble drill. It's basically an accelerated weave. This is a New York Liberty team, and we shouldn't be surprised by this given how they played last year, but this is a team that wants high tempo. They want to get out in transition. Sandy Brondello mentioned that before today's game once again, and they do have, as some of our faithful YouTube live stream listeners say, we have those greyhounds, right? Those dogs that can run up the court. So if you're asking specifically about Sabrina Ionescu's defense, I'm not going to give you any, you know, it wasn't really that kind of practice where they were really focused on lockdown defense. I will say, and I believe I also posted this on Patreon, that what I did notice about Sabrina Ionescu, and we talked about it on the last episode, and I noticed that, again, you know, it's an hashtag unquick first step, but she's very strong. And there was a drill where they kind of had these like foam paddles, not the noodles. Sometimes you'll see pool noodles, but those are a little flimsy. These were more like, sometimes if you've ever taken any form of martial arts karate, you'll see these foam paddles, you know, and you'll use them to kind of take contact without, you know, actually getting hit by like someone else's body parts. And so the practice squad was using those. Now, two things that did. One is it elongated the practice squad. So they were super long, and the players had to really maneuver through quote unquote tight, albeit artificial defense. Another thing is, though, you can kind of whack those paddles, and Sabrina Ionescu was indeed cutting through the lane, driving to the basket hard, and wasn't kind of jerking back and flopping. Now, there weren't any officials, at least not during that drill. They actually did run a 5-on-5, but again, defense, I wouldn't say, was at a premium. Also, the shots weren't really falling. Again, this is more of a practice for the fans and to get their legs underneath them. But although I would not say, I'm not going to judge anyone's, let alone Sabrina's defense from that open practice, I did see some things that I really liked. So that was good. What about the rookies? Did anyone stand out for you? As Mary stood out for me, one, she's just freaking hilarious. But also, I thought she was doing a pretty good job. I wouldn't say anyone else stood out more than anyone else. Again, the open practice, not the perfect scenario to really evaluate. And that happened to be the first practice that I attended. So I think we'll get to see, as far as this question about the rookies, Amy, we're going to get to see some of the young blood. And this is how Sandy put it to us just an hour ago. She only has 6 returning players. So, of course, there's going to be some young blood that we'll see tonight. And speaking of tonight, it's about that time to head over to WNBA League Pass. So if you're not already logged in, go ahead and do that. This is a watch along, so I will not be streaming the game on this right here on YouTube. You'll have to watch either on a separate window or on a different screen. I'm hoping to be able to stream this on this TV that I have in front of me, so you'll have to do that. I'm not going to be showing the game because that is, I'm not trying to get sued or whatever the case may be. It's not that kind of party. But as the game, I actually had some coffee soda. We talked about it. I just had some coffee. But we will see the rookies in action. But we will also see the starters in action. Give them a little bit of time. I specifically asked him about something Pedro said. And is Sandy and the coaching staff, are they going to kind of say, hey, in this scenario, we want this ball to go to this player? Or is that going to be something that comes from the players themselves? And Sandy she answered it in an interesting way. And I basically got that she wants the players to do that. She also talked about team culture. We've talked about that a lot on Gotta Get Up, a podcast for New York Liberty fans. And what Sandy was saying is that while last year she really needed to force the issue when it came to culture, and she really needed to force the issue when it came to really developing the starting 5, she's taking a hands-off approach. Everything about culture will be coming from the team. And so I think when it comes to clutch time, she wants the players that are on the court with each other to make those decisions. But a part of being able to make those decisions in real time when it comes to games is them having repetitions with each other. Don't you think that the Liberty needs size with Jessica Carter, even though they have Niara Sabally? I'll be honest, I don't really know much about Jessica Carter, and I don't think that the New York Liberty needs size for size sake. That's kind of what I think we had with Hanju. She wasn't utilized early on, and I think we're beyond the point where she's necessarily, her game is useful. So to answer the question more broadly and not thinking about Carter versus Sabally or anyone else, I don't think the Liberty needs size for size sake. I think what the New York Liberty need is exactly what they focused on. And also in Gotta Get Up Overtime, I had a really interesting conversation with Jonathan Kolb. And I asked him a little bit about the New York Liberty did not make off-season moves that people would consider like newsworthy. It's moving in silence. We've talked about it here on the podcast. And I asked him about that, about making moves that win points in the public eye versus making moves that are going to win you basketball games. So no, I don't think you just go out and get size for size sake. We've done that before in the past as the New York Liberty, and I didn't always agree with it. You need to get players that are going to help the New York Liberty do what they want to do. What do we know that the New York Liberty want to do? They want to run. They want to move the ball quickly, as Jonquel Jones just won the opening tip and got it to Courtney Vandersloot. So game on, folks. Let's go. So yeah, I'm not saying we need one player over another. I also think we got to remember that we got to give this team a little bit of time so we can figure them out. This is only their first preseason game, and there goes Sabrina Ionescu taking the ball to the hoop. She missed the layup. Lots of missed shots during open practice. Again, more so for the legs, more so for the fans, but it was noticeable how many shots were not falling for the New York Liberty. But I love that Sabrina Ionescu, first possession, goes straight to the hole. It seems like this is something that the coaching staff know that Sab has to do. And there she goes. She's on Marina Mabry, playing defense on Marina Mabry. And a little bit of a shaky start here. I saw in the comments, no Camila Cardozo. I mean, obviously, this is a podcast for New York Liberty fans, but I, for one, was excited to see, another Miss Bunny. I, for one, was excited to see Camila in action. Courtney Vandersloot. Ooh, lots of empty possessions. A little bit of jitters first go round for, at least for the New York Liberty. The Chicago Sky have already had a preseason game. So this is the first look at the New York Liberty, and first look for me at Teresa Weatherspoon as head coach. But I like what we're seeing, the guards going to the hole. And some of that also is, you want to talk about bigs, you've got Stewie and Jonquel Jones who can shoot from the perimeter. And that's a little bit also about, I think, what we're going to see from this New York Liberty squad is some of our post players bringing the ball up. Sandy did a little bit of that last year, and she talked about it even earlier tonight, right before the game. And I think that just is going to open up shooting for everybody, but especially players like Sabrina Ionescu. I think the New York Liberty, again, I've only seen them in an open practice. I feel like I'll know a little bit better after today. I'm going to be honest. I'm not one to make predictions. I don't think it's helpful to make predictions until you've been able to analyze a team. So I think in preseason, we just watch. I think once we get through the first 5 games, we should have a better understanding of where everyone in the league is, but particularly the New York Liberty. Right now, I see that they're trying to move the ball quickly, which I love, but they're also rusty. You can tell. You can absolutely tell that they're rusty. So, there's definitely some work to do, but I'm not one for making predictions without giving you a thoughtful analysis. And right now, I can't give a prediction on where I think this New York Liberty team is going to be, but they got to make layups. They're down 6 points from missed layups from their guards. So I don't like that. I can tell you that. Ooh, DeShields picks up an offensive foul on Benijah Laney. I think it's going to be exciting to see Angel Reese, who was at the Met Gala. She was just here in New York, which is wild. I liked the top of her outfit. I wasn't thrilled with the bottom, but I mean, what do I know? I'm curious to see my predictions for the New York Liberty. On paper, in theory, they should be a playoff team. I don't think it's going to be easy. I think they still have a lot of work to do. They're missing close range. They didn't get back on defense just then. So there's a lot of work still. But in theory, on paper, they should be a playoff team. I'm not going to immediately, jump ball. I'm not going to immediately say that they're going to go to the finals, that they're going to win the final. I'm not doing that. I don't believe in those kind of predictions. I think they're baseless. I mean, I understand why people want to have that conversation, but to me, I'd rather have a conversation that's rooted in my eye test and a small sample size of data. We have zero data on this team other than their stats on paper. We have zero data. If you want to know what I think about the Liberty team, ask me after this game. And even that's not guaranteed. Right now, I see a team that was great at defense last year at times, and I don't see much defense right now from this New York Liberty squad. That's an early observation. They're going to have to figure that out. They're definitely going to have to figure that out. I mean, y'all should know not to leave Marina Mabry open. That's how I feel. I hope all the starting five rewatch the WNBA finals and see the mistakes they've made and fix it, especially when it comes to the aces. And Sabrina must be the dog that will impose her will. I will agree that I think Sabrina needs to be more aggressive. I think we're already seeing that. Not all players watch film or full series. Not everyone does that. And again, you'll have to watch it on our Patreon page. It'll be up later this week. But I thought it was interesting to hear Jonquel Jones had one approach and Benajelani Hamilton had another approach. And I don't think that you have to force the fact, what happened last year. One of the people that I interviewed said, what happened, I don't need to watch it. I lived it. And I think there's some realness to that. Someone else said, yeah, I took a look at it. And, and then I had a journalist who told me that, they watched game 4 specifically and looked to see, how many open shots were given up, how many blown layups. We've already seen 3. In this game. So, everyone has a different approach, and I think you got to respect whatever the approach is, but I don't think it's required. The film sessions will come once the regular season games come, and then that's when you have to be locked in. But to say you have to watch last year, I can understand it both ways, but I can also understand why you don't want to watch that. I mean, people are going to say all kinds of stuff. I think it's foolish to say a team is overrated when you haven't even seen them play a regular season game. And you know what? Let the New York Liberty be overrated on from what people are saying. None of that matters at the end of the day. You can be overrated, you can be underrated from what the quote unquote experts say, but you still have to go out and win games. So again, I just don't find preseason predictions very important. I don't find them useful. They are a part of sports. And as a media member, maybe I should be more into it, but I'm just not. I don't think that's what I rather have different conversations in preseason. Hey, Mish coming through. All right, I'll send you the link now. I totally forgot. We don't have a static link yet. I gotta fix that. So Mish is gonna pop in a little bit. I'm curious to hear what Mish thinks. But preseason predictions, I don't know. I mean, it's just something to write about, but I don't hold any weight into preseason predictions. I really, really don't. What are we up to? 4, 5 missed layups? That can't happen. I'm not feeling that. Oh, wide open lane. Good thing Jonquel Jones was there to clean it up.
Yo,
What's up? I was telling everybody, I had the poppy.
You had the poppy? You had the strawberry lemon?
Raspberry rose, baby.
I got that Talent Tea dairy-free sorbetto, okay? Roman raspberry. Talk to me nice.
Ooh, okay, in the color purple room, I see.
Hey. Yo, we're getting a different angle today. We're getting the red chair.
I love it. I'm in a whole different state, a whole different time zone today.
Oh, where you at?
Yeah, I'm back home. I'm in New York right now.
Okay.
All right, Mish, let the folks know. I'm gonna let you get one more scoop in, but let the folks know. I mean, I was saying Damien's asking about preseason predictions, and I was gonna be like, listen, to be honest, I don't get down with preseason predictions. I'm like, if I ain't seen you play, then I don't know what you finna do. That's how
it's all projection and speculation. As somebody who put together preseason rankings this season, just as I was getting familiar with each roster as kind of an exercise, I realized how unuseful they actually are, because it's like, what do you have to go based on? You can make predictions and you can, talk about what you expect to see, but none of us, you know what I mean? We're all grasping.
Yeah, it's like the ball type stuff.
Yeah. There's so many things that take place in the course of a season.
Yeah,
there's no way.
they'd be like, Erica, do you want to do preseason predictions? I'll be like, no. No,
like I do them like brackets though. I like to do them like college brackets just to see. You know what I mean?
See, I don't like that either. I'm like, I ain't doing it. Miss me with that.
Word, you anti-bracket? That's wild.
Like,
I know that.
I don't find it useful. I don't find it helpful. I find it braggadocious. Like, I'm just like, please stop talking. You know? I don't know.
I hear.
And if anything, oh,
okay, Slooty. All right, Sabrina trying to be attack the basket today.
We talked about it already. I'm telling you, I noticed that at open practice, and I'm down for that.
Yeah, I would love to see that. We talked last episode, for those who were tuned in, about which Liberty players we thought need to have A+ seasons. Slooty would have been my other option. Specifically in that way. How aggressive is she attacking the basket? Because that just makes such a big difference for them and what they're able to get into offensively.
Oop, there you go. Where are you? I'm at 4 minutes left exactly, just as I spoke.
I'm at 4:30. I need to get my stream together.
See, that's the thing. I mean, when we were using playback, that's what I liked, because we could watch. Everyone was watching the same stream who was logged in at playback. But this makes it, but I don't know, playback kind of played the WNBA.
I'm caught up now. I fast forwarded. It's
okay. So we're at a timeout right now. It's 12:04.
Yeah. Okay. We kind of in the same area.
Okay. 10 baskets or 10 points on blown bunnies alone.
Yeah. Sabrina came out the gates of the missed layup. I said, girl.
Sabrina missed the layup. Benijah, I believe, missed the layup. Sloot missed the layup.
AJ buried Angel Reese literally underneath the rim, and I don't think she realized how deep she got her buried. But that's
welcome to the W.
That's a good thing to me, though, because if you're burying Angel Reese, who we know, I mean, it's a transition from college to the pro, but Angel Reese is not no pushover, right?
Nope.
But you burying her under the basket like that, that's a good sign for JJ. She might be a little.
JJ says she's feeling healthy. JJ says she's feeling good. Something else I was talking about is that there's a difference of opinion in Liberty camp on how many players or even coaches watched last year's finals and how many didn't. What's your take? You lose in the finals. You watching that series back?
Series is crazy. The whole series might be a little bit much. But actually, I don't know. As a coach, I'm obviously watching it, because you gotta, in those moments, sometimes you tend to see those things that coaches keep in their back pocket. You know what I mean? That folks are never gonna see until the stakes are that high. So I think for that reason alone, as a coach, I would definitely be watching it. As a player, though, that's a different mentality. That's, we know we lost, and we know we have a coaching staff who's gonna go through that film and figure out, what our weak spots were, this, that, and the third. As a player, my ego was like, I don't need to watch that. I don't need to watch that. I know what happened.
This right here. I'm gonna need. Are we new? Like, are we all new? We don't know that Marina Mabry can shoot the dang ball. Like, what happened? Ooh, all right, Sab get one back.
I'm watching her defense right now. Yes,
I was asked about her defense. Dana Evans already blew by her once. Now they got Kennedy out there too. That's not a good matchup either. Marina.
We're in the same place now.
Listen, I mess with Marina Mabry. I feel like she's kind of bounced around more than I would have liked for her, but she gonna make it. She be all right.
She's been solid.
It was more about the bounce. Well, I mean, she coming with the shots too.
Oh, boo.
I mean, the Chicago squad's playing like they have one preseason game under their belt, and the Liberty don't.
Facts.
Let's go. So we knew that the starters were going to get their shine. And that, yeah, I guess Q, she did look good. I take that back. I talked about, I wasn't sure about rookies, but yeah, Q looked good. I ain't worried about her. I know, Mish, you called that, so.
Yeah, we ain't worried about her too much.
Nope.
Look at the big board. Get big. Oh, man. I think she fits so well with this team. I'm just so excited for her. Wow. Because just look at the length. She's running up for guarding Kennedy Carter. Kennedy Carter, I mean, she's fast, but
Kennedy Carter is a guard that'll get you downhill for sure.
Yeah.
Woo! Was that Harrison?
Yes, it was.
Lord.
And I know you just said how you don't like preseason predictions, but I put Chicago a little higher up than most people did.
I agree. I'm like, yo, people are downright disrespecting Chicago as far as I'm concerned, including my colleague hated what Chicago did at the draft. I was like, I'm not with that. I'm not with that at all.
No, I think they did very well for themselves.
I agree. I'm oh Lord have mercy. How many points we up to? Missed at the rim.
How about that tip?
That was wild. I forgot Bree Turner came to Chicago. And I've seen it a few times and I'm like, okay. And then I see it again. I'm like, nope, still didn't stick.
Ooh. Stewie was in the weight room.
The regular season? No. I mean, WNBA teams are lucky if they get 2 preseason games. So does a down preseason predict a regular season? No. With 2 games? No. Come on.
Especially considering, folks, when we're talking about preseason, like Erica just said, the starter's going to get in maybe for a little bump just to see what it's feeling like out there. Mm-hmm. But after that, you're trying to figure out who's going to be on this team. You're not worried about winning. Exactly. You're worried about,
trying to get spots here. Also, LOL at everyone who thought Kate Martin didn't have a shot at making Vegas. I kept my mouth shut, but I was like, do y'all even watch? You
went crazy all tournament.
Perfect fit for Vegas.
She went crazy.
Yeah. And they got fair. I was like, y'all are playing games out here. So, I don't like making predictions, but Vegas was already, super, super hot. And then they added some pieces.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah. I'm still baffled. It's like the rest of the teams in the draft forgot that Vegas had to draft. What are we doing? We're leaving the 3rd best scorer in Division I history
to the Aces. Y'all are bugs.
Who had historic scoring numbers last season.
Y'all are bugs. Now, I mean, would I have liked fair with New York? I mean, why wouldn't you? Do I think it's the perfect fit? No.
Right.
That's one where you got to be like, I mean, that's not a perfect fit. It might not even be a good fit depending on how things turn out. I mean, I would still like to see it.
It would have been nice to see, but I don't know if that would have been in her best interest either, honestly.
Damian, you gotta chill, man. I want you to make sure you are checking on your blood pressure. You can't get so worked up on a preseason game, homie. I'm trying to look out for you. Honestly, I'm not even joking. I'm like, bro, you gotta calm down. We're 10 minutes into preseason. Listen, I'm gonna keep it funky because the New York Mets fans are like this too. You've got New York Mets fans who are hella excited, but also realists. And then you have New York Mets fans that are hella excited when things are going well. And the second anything goes wrong, they spiral.
Pitchforks.
They spiral. I can't speak for Yankees fans because I don't associate with those people. But I mean, I feel like Knicks fans are like that. I don't know about Nets fans. I can't speak to what they do because when I was growing up, they were out in New Jersey, so I didn't mess with them. But Rangers fans are the same way. I'm like, yo, New York, we gotta chill. We out here with hella anxiety. I mean, we got enough to be worried about in these streets. whether you're gonna get hit in, the bike lane or something like that. Don't let a preseason 10 minutes into a preseason game stress you out. Like, you gotta chill, man. You gotta chill. Like,
Yeah.
Donovan saying New York missing everything. I'm telling you, they missed everything in open practice too. It was wild. Was I concerned? I mean, no, it's a practice. You're gonna miss sometimes. It was noticeable. So this is the difference. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Being concerned about it versus making a note for later. If you missing in your first couple of, they had a tough, from what I understand, they had a tough practice. The open practice was more for the fans, get the legs going. It was free flowing. So listen, am I nervous? Am I concerned about it? Not right now, but I noticed it. So this is when we come back and we go, let's put it this way, because I talked about it a little bit. So Mish, not the first game, but the second New York Liberty game against Indiana, actually, we're going to do one of these again. We're going to do a watch along. If the New York Liberty in their second regular season game are missing shots at the rate that they missed them in open practice and at the rate that they're missing them in this first quarter, then we have to have a different conversation. But I'm not getting worked up about it right now. I'm really not. It's ugly. It doesn't look good. Like, we can say those things, but am I getting worked up about it? No, absolutely not.
Erica's giving y'all a crash course in basic journalism skills here. It's notice a thing, note that thing, and follow up on that thing.
Exactly. I'm a low and slow barbecue writer.
Yeah.
I don't microwave my food. I don't microwave my articles. I'll be low and slow all day, baby.
Ain't no easy bake oven for those, huh?
Nope. No microwave sponge cakes over here. But yeah, I mean, again, Chicago looks like a team that played a preseason game.
Oh my Lord.
Who's that, Frazier? Clyde Frazier. Let me stop.
Oh my.
Oh
my.
Okay. That's okay. You want to talk about, noting something, put an asterisk. What did, you know this, Brian sent us that article that Jeff Magliochetti wrote. And in that article, Jonathan Cole, JK, was quoted multiple times using long, length. That right there, that block right there, that cleanup, because guards got beat at the perimeter. And that cleanup, that's what he's talking about.
That's it.
That's what he's talking about.
The thing that makes, and I don't want to make this about Vegas, right? But I want to use them
now we got to add, not to make it about Vegas.
I just want to use them as a point of reference for this exact point, right? Kelsey Plum, Jackie Young, all those guards.
You smoke a lamb.
You smoke a lamb. It felt like that though. That first quarter.
I'm telling you.
But my only point being, Kia Stokes and Asia Wilson in the backcourt or in the front court. Give Kelsey Plum, Jackie Young, all those guards free reign to make mistakes out top, to take risks out top, and to, depending on what kind of defensive schemes Becky's running, if they have, a blitz situation or different kind of things, it gives you reassurance on the backside that somebody's going to come clean up that mess.
Correct.
And New York can have that and have it not be Stewie and have it not be JJ, because sometimes cleaning up the mess means you get messy too, i.e. foul trouble. That's even better for New York, right? You want to be able to preserve them and spell them when they, depending on what happens, you might need to sit them both. So, that's definitely big asterisk worthy.
All right, Damien, I won't look out for you no more. Don't worry about it. But ain't nothing on the line tonight, homie. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to regulate how you feel. You feel how you want to feel. So don't be big mad. Be big mad about this. Go ahead. Go on with it. I'm just going to remind you that you said this looked like last preseason. And what happened last season, this team that didn't look good in preseason got all the way to the finals.
Say that.
So,
I still feel like every conversation I have about the Liberty, people forget they were literally the runner-up in the whole WNBA. We talking about them like
things can be true. Two things can be true. Mish, what you're saying is absolutely a fact. What's also absolutely a fact is that game 1, game 2, and game 4 were trash. And arguably game 4 was even more painful because they had a chance to close it out and didn't. A reminder, Chicago had a preseason game and then had multiple practices and film sessions to clean things up. Just a reminder.
All right, and one falling away.
And they look like it. I did not watch the Twitter game, as it shall now and forevermore be known. I did not watch the Twitter game. But I heard, I was in the press conference listening to Spoon talk. And what did she say? Like, listen, Damien, you don't want to listen to me? Go listen to Teaspoon. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and put it on the Black Rosie Media website just so you can listen to it. Go on and listen to it. I'm going to upload it later tonight. Go on and listen to it. People are asking her questions, and she's like, you know what? Yep, I noticed that too, but we'll be all right. I noticed that too. We'll talk about it, but we're going to be all right. Yep, you're right. Yep, that was my rookie. Came out, whatever the box score said. Yep, notice that. We're going to be all right. We're going to fix it. Because this is not a game that you need to win or lose. This is a game that you play how you play. And then if you play this way again, that's when we start having conversations. But I'm not getting worked up about this right now.
I feel it's necessary to remind everyone that this game does not count towards the schedule.
3 and 17. That's all I have to say. Not going to mention any names.
Y'all got to go drink some chamomile tea.
Yeah, I'm not getting worked up about this game. I'm not getting worked up.
Organic honey. It's going to be right.
What's more upsetting is just like, this is a team that said they wanted to focus on defense. And I was like, but where? Not on the perimeter. Not on the perimeter. That's, again, am I getting mad about it? No, but I'm taking a note.
If do y'all want to be mad? Come be a Mystics fan. You want to be mad?
Oh.
You want to be mad?
Uh-oh.
Mystics fans. Mystics fans
are Queen. So what do you think about that Queen move?
So I was trying to find silver linings earlier when I saw the tweet. I was trying desperately to find a sliver of light in the situation. I thought Queen had an excellent season last season. I thought quietly she put together some really important performances coming in. She didn't have crazy numbers, but she was getting
a good season with Indiana. Like, people were sleeping.
Exactly. She was good.
People want to get mad at the 4th place vote for Asia. You need to get mad on whoever didn't have Queen in rookie or all rookie team.
She has, each year she's been in the league, she's improved. And she has not only improved, but had the opportunity to show and prove how much she has improved. And I think when she's gotten those opportunities, she made the most of them last season with the Mystics. I thought she fit the defense that Eric Thibault likes to play so well. I thought she had that tenacity. She wasn't really fearful of anybody. For a backup post in that situation, you have to be that way. And I was excited to see her grow with the Mystics this season, but I guess not. And Bernadette Hattar, she hasn't played a full season in the WNBA. Like, she hasn't played a full season's worth of games. I don't really know. I know she's had some EuroLeague, success and that kind of stuff. Yeah. But again, the W is different, man. The W is different. It's feeling like tanking season right now in DC. There's a bunch of posts, not enough guards still for me. And it feels like, even if you want to go and get the lottery pick at the end of this season, that's fine. But you have to have pieces in place for when you get that lottery pick. And I'm just not sure. Maybe this is their process of figuring out what pieces they want to have in place. But I'm trusting the process because I'm not a GM, so I'm trusting the process. But it's hard right now. It's hard right now. I picked us 12th. I picked us 12th. So that says a lot. I
wanted to come back to this by Donovan. New York is supposed to be the runner-up. Okay, first of all, y'all got to remember this. They were the runner-up last year. Only one team gets to retain their title and that's the champions. Everyone else is playing for an opportunity. That's what I'm saying. I'm not assuming that the New York Liberty are going to the finals this year. I ain't seen them do nothing yet. You don't get that. No, I don't believe in that.
Ooh, okay.
They don't look like they have been here before. 6 returners. Everybody else new. So yeah, this New York Liberty squad hasn't been here before. But also, what are we talking about? Been here before? It's a preseason game, y'all. It's a preseason game. There's people that are playing in this game that won't even be on the roster.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Do I think they look out of shape? No. The touch isn't there. Now, if they looked out of shape, I would be upset. I don't think they look out of shape.
No.
They just don't have the touch yet. If anything, they're going too hard to the basket. You have a hard shot. You hoopers know.
Yeah. When you can't slow down.
Yeah, you'd be going like chucking that thing into, upper bowl. You just gas. You're amped up. And that takes a little while for you to regain control of your body.
I like that look for KT too. But again, she's so deep under the basket.
Exactly. See, perfect example. If she had stopped, planted both feet, caught that ball, then she would have had options. She probably would have gotten fouled. That's number one. But if she stops, then she can shed the defender and either go up again, pump fake, go up, get a foul, or she dishes it out and we don't lose the possession. Those, to me, are just getting back into the basketball mindset, going at full tilt against players that are not on your team.
So that was going to be my next point. What you just said right there. Some of these folks, I don't know what everybody on the Liberty's schedule has been in the offseason, but some people are coming back from overseas. Some people are coming off a straight up offseason where they haven't been doing nothing. And some folks, the young kids are coming off a college season. So right now, in terms of WNBA experience for this season, they've only played against each other.
Yep.
And the practice players that New York has, whoever that may be. This is their first time playing with other people. These are all milestones in preseason that every team has to, mark off.
Yep.
So everybody breathe. But one thing that's positive that we could talk about is Sluty. Hello. Are we watching her be aggressive? Are we watching her finesse? She looks really good.
Damian, you got to chill, man. You got to chill. Both of these players, it's been reported by the team and team reporters that they are on rest. To Misha's point, some players, including Niara Sabally, are coming from overseas seasons and they are resting. Now, that is what the team said. Now, whether they are resting because they're coming from overseas, Brian was on the podcast, said Niara just got to camp. Are they resting? Exactly. Thank you, Jen. Are they resting because they came from EuroLeague? There's a part of that. I'll be honest. Now, if you want to ask me a question instead of making a statement, I'll give you my opinion. I'm putting an asterisk against Niara not being able to come in to preseason. Now, what Jen says is true, but what do we also know about Niara? Niara has struggled with injuries. So what do we also know about basketball players? You don't get to the end of any season 100% healthy. Something ain't feeling right. So she's playing she's playing in EuroLeague and now coming to the WNBA. I am going to leave it in good faith that the New York Liberty know what they want to do with Niara, and they know she's coming off of EuroLeague, and they know she's been injury prone, so they're resting her because these are preseason games. She don't need to push her body more than she has to.
Y'all imagine the WNBA season last season for the Liberty. They played that whole season. Imagine if after losing in game 4, you said, all right, you got a day and a half, 2 days, do it all over again immediately.
It's exactly what Niara did. Niara left the day. Was it the next day? She came to exit interviews.
Yeah.
She came to exit interviews and was gone by the next afternoon.
Like, come on, y'all.
And yes, Jen, this is also true. The New York Liberty have 5 players they have 5 starters and Niara who they know are in. And how do we know this? Y'all should check out good friend of the pod, the one and only Jackie. Why am I just blank? Why did I just
Jackie Powell?
Last name? Thank you, Jackie Powell. I also got who did Teaspoon just got a tech?
Something like that. They were talking a whole lot of words.
He was mad about something. I'm trying to watch and talk at the same time. Jackie Powell had a conversation with assistant coach Olaf, and he made it evidently clear that Niara is the 6th player off the bench. She's the first post player off the bench.
I'm sorry. Unquick just did some unquick stuff right there.
I mean, you already know how I feel about that.
Oh man.
So Niara is expecting to play a very specific role for this New York Liberty squad. And so she's getting some rest. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. I'm not worried about it. Unquick. Hashtag unquick.
I just wanted to bring that back to our collective consciousness here because.
I mean, ooh.
I've liked some of the looks she's gotten. I mean, but dang, her with Dana Evans as the ball handler, it's a tough ask.
Okay, see, now we not boxing out. That's inexcusable to me. I don't care what kind of game it is. I'm gonna need you to box out. Kate Martin actually said something, and it was so old school. I was like, yo, this might be one of my favorite college players. And I just realized she said, I guess it was after, who did they play? Well, they played West Virginia, and then they played, it might have been after that Colorado game. And she was saying, there's just a few things that we got to clean up. We got to get butts and stomachs. And I was like, yo, that's what I'm talking about. That right there is what I'm talking about.
Yep. That good,
that's how you know.
Instinct. Unquick is Sabrina. Unquick is Sabrina.
Yes. Unquick is Sabrina. Like, come on. Real ones know. When you box out, man, that used to be, I'm like, low-key, that was one of my favorite things to do, especially on someone taller than me. I was like, I'm not unquick with my first step. So if I have any shot, I need to use my quick step, get in there, boop, catch them off guard, and then go about my business.
Yeah, I was blessed. I've been strong in my lower limbs my whole life. Black family, you grow up, we it's thick out here. And I was able to.
Good look. Oh, okay.
We were out there guarding. I'm 5'8", y'all. Was out there guarding 6'4", 6'3".
Yep.
Could dunk, all that. And guess what? It don't matter. Rebounding is about positioning.
Rebounding is about positioning. It's about that first step.
Yeah.
Teaspoon, man. Oh,
I love this for her. I love this for her so bad, yo. Like,
selfishly, I hate it. But I really don't, because I love it.
Yeah, it should be. I don't know, Sandy. I rock with Sandy, but I can see.
I do too.
Yeah,
no regrets.
But
I just know. Well, let me say it this way. I believe strongly that the New York Liberty could have had Spoon before they got to, before they let go of Walt.
Yeah.
I'm talking the MSG days. I'm talking even the Westchester days. And they played her. Like, other management, they didn't, put enough respect on her name. So I understand. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
And did. But I'm not worried about Teaspoon. I'm really not. And I love it. I asked Sandy about Spoon. I was like, well, you know, she's going to be making her coaching debut this year. Knowing what you know about Spoon, what are you expecting from a Chicago team? And everything Sandy said is exactly what we're seeing from this team. She's like, they're going to get after it. I mean, that's not what Sandy said, but effectively that's what she said. I forget exactly what her phrasing was, but she's like, this is going to be a hardworking, they're just going to go and run and play, and they're going to, you know, they're going to get after it. Because that's how Teaspoon plays. She's not going to tolerate them not performing at the top of their capabilities. Yeah. And you can see, I think she got a tech. I don't know. I was kind of, you know, we were talking, but Spoon is fired up. She's going to have her team fired up and ready to go.
And sorry to everybody who just heard that Slack notification. I'm sorry if you were triggered. I know we're off work right now.
Exactly. Jen, you get me. You get me, Jen. Exactly. I understand, but I'm so happy for her. Listen, I think the news of Spoon going to Chicago, right, came out during the finals. And I saw her during one of the home games. And man, she gives, first of all, Spoon gives some great hugs. She just came, gave me a big hug, then we dapped it up, you know what I'm saying? Oh. And I said, yo, congratulations. She was like, thank you. But she was still rocking. Like, she had already gotten the job, and she was in New York on the sideline, ready to, you know, watch this team. It was game 3, because after the game, there was that clip that Christina caught, where she's listening to Sabrina talk in the scrum, and then she heard something and she went, dapped her up. I was like, yo, that is hella dope. You know, another reason I wanted them to win is just because I wanted Spoon to be able to enjoy the first New York Liberty Championship before she had to be in Chicago camp. You know what I'm saying? Like this.
Less
exactly,
never unaffiliated, but less
exactly. Well, no, she's New York Liberty forever. Like but she has other responsibilities now. You know, like she can't make New York Liberty first, even if that might be how she feels. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm not speaking for her. I'm just saying. No, of course, she's. You know, it's different now. It's different. She got other responsibilities. I understand. She got her own family now. You know, she growing up in the world.
Here you go.
Girl, you know, she moved out.
Oh my God.
She got her own family.
She flew the nest for the coop.
Exactly, you know, and I'm happy for her. But man, I'd be lying if I said I didn't want them to get that just so Spoon could enjoy it. She deserves it, man. Yeah. And you know what? I will feel some kind of way if she gets a championship before the New York Liberty. I'm a eat that for a minute. And then I'm gonna be happy for her.
It hasn't
happened.
It hasn't happened.
Happy for Spoon, sad for me. Exactly. Exactly. Spoon, listen, you're not gonna hear me talking bad about Spoon. I don't see it coming to that.
Marina's 3 for 6 from 3.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Yeah, the chemistry ain't there.
Yeah, not yet. They only got 2 assists, 3 assists, 5 assists. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely not there. I mean, it don't look good. I'm not going to lie, but I'm not getting worked up about it. Don't even say that out loud. I'm sorry, Jen. I'm sorry. I'm just saying.
Jen said, why put that energy out in the universe, Erica? Why? How do we feel about Stewie's slick back ponytail? She got that thing freshly dyed. It looks sleek. I love it.
I know. It was looking good at Media Day.
Sleek.
All right. I mean, Damien, just say you don't like Sandy Brondello. Like, I mean, it's fine. Just say you don't, but let's not be making things more than it is. It's one preseason game. One preseason game. I will tell you though, who was it? Indiana, Dallas? They
hooping.
Woo! You want to talk about them teams were ready.
Buckets on buckets on buckets.
Now the Liberty ain't looking like that. I ain't gonna lie, because that Indiana Dallas game was exciting. Yeah. This ain't it. But it's preseason. I ain't getting worked up about it. Just everything is an asterisk. Take a note, child. She bailed out. See, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that, Sabrina. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, you want to see her take that strong to the cup. You don't need to fade
all
away.
The way. Don't fade away. And if you're falling, if you're fading away, knock that off somebody's shin. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Ooh. Yeah, girl, you was all on the sideline, shorty.
Yeah.
Also, Chicago's got some decisions to make here, man. Because Lindsey Allen, Dana Evans, you got two littles. You know what I mean? You got Kennedy Carter, who
I mean, my gut is telling me it might be LA. I don't know if that's the right choice. And Kennedy, has had a tough go,
Yeah.
But Spoon, I don't see Spoon, tolerating any of that. So we're gonna find out real quick where Kennedy Carter's at, because Spoon, I don't get the feeling that she's gonna play all of that. Whatever was happening, and it is what it is, but I don't know. Sis needed a little time away and got it. So she better come correct. All that said, I mean, LA, is she the most dynamic guard? No. But there's a calm that Lindsey Allen has that is, if you don't have a Lindsey Allen, I don't know where this team gets it from in the backcourt.
You have Marina, who is not going to be handling point guard responsibilities, but we know she has in the past, and we know she likes to have the rock in her hands. Aww. I think because you have her, you got to either have Dana in LA, or you got to have Kennedy in LA. You can't have Dana and Kennedy. It's just not going to work to me.
No, I don't see that.
Somebody's got to be, the piece.
And that's tough because, but that's how it is. It's situational. It's situational. Yeah, that wasn't a good first half.
It was hard.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't good.
Yeah,
it wasn't good.
But let's look at some stats. It's not all bad, right? I mean, Sabrina shooting 2 for 5 from 3. Okay, not bad.
Wait, the white is a white flag is game, homie. There's nothing on the line. They're not playing for money. They're not playing for standings. This is preseason.
It's no need.
You want to cancel the whole season off of this? I don't know. That's why I'm telling you, man. You gotta,
Chill. But we do have some silver linings here. Brianna Frazier, who, if y'all didn't know, Brooklyn born.
Yo, Jen, this is hilarious.
They are. Because Sabrina's hit 2 threes, and outside of that, I don't know what else there's been. Actually, Sloot has had some nice takes to the basket, but
anyway. I mean, the highlight for me was that hug with Sandy and Teaspoon.
That was your highlight?
Yes, I'm not even kidding. That was adorable. I loved it. Also, I love it because I asked Sandy about going up against Teaspoon, so it makes me feel good. I feel validated that I asked a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? This is a Chicago broadcast, so
this is Chicago broadcast now?
Yeah, they're in Chicago.
Oh, you mean? Oh, I thought you were talking about this. I was like, it's a New York Liberty podcast.
No, broadcast, not podcast.
Got you.
I was like, so I gotta worry about that. Okay, this is a good question, Donovan. I gotta make shots and stop the ball. Like, I don't know what's happening at the perimeter. The guards are getting into the paint, and you got the post that's cleaning up.
Yeah. Then you just stop the ball over. They have 13.
I mean, it's not smooth. It's a little bit like jerk stop, There's no rhythm. to what's happening right now. And some of that sometimes you just got to get out your system.
Chicago only has 6, 13-6 turnover wise. No bueno, no bueno.
I mean, I don't know how to answer that because there's a few things that are in play here.
Davis has played 5 minutes.
Right. And who is she playing with? She's not playing with Courtney Vandersloot. She's not playing with Sabrina, right? She's playing with the second unit. So yeah, I mean, y'all are I think we're reaching a little bit too soon. You know, when we get into, it's a short season. So I said 5 earlier, but I'd say within the first 3 to 5 games, this is when we can start asking these questions. But we got to remember, especially that second unit, they're playing for spots. And I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't been in love with what the New York Liberty did in the postseason. And so who do we have? Bria Hartley is off a roster right now. I don't think Hartley's the answer, but I guess my point is that you have some players that are going to be offloaded in the next few days. It's not unusual to see some of those players offloaded by one team come to another team. Is that what the New York Liberty is going to need to do? I mean, maybe. I don't know. But right now, I mean, I'm not inspired. I'm not inspired by what I'm seeing right now. I'll tell you that. But am I saying wave the white flag on a preseason game that don't even count for nothing? Come on. No. I mean, Damian. The New York Liberty have done that in a regular season game before. They've also given up that much in a regular season game before. You got to chill, man. I don't know. Or I'm sorry, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. Go ahead and live your life. But I'm telling you, I'm not taking the bait. I'm not picking up what you putting down. I'm not eating what you serving up. I'm not doing it. I ain't doing it. It ain't over till it's over.
I know, but some of y'all act like you've never seen a comeback before. Like,
or just like a bad game. Yeah. It's a preseason game. It might be crappy the rest of the way. It might be.
It likely might be.
And we just gonna give up on the season? Nah, man, that's weak sauce, man. That's weak. That's a loser mentality. I'm gonna be real. That's a loser mentality. And if the New York Liberty are thinking like that to me is hella red flag. In a preseason game, you talking about wave the white? If a team says that in a preseason game, if a player says that in a preseason game, I'm like, oh no, we got to get you out of here. It's one thing to say, yo, we got to step it up. But to be like, no, let's just not even go out there in a preseason game. Is that a player you want on your squad? I'm cutting them on the immediate. See ya. Deuces. Nah, man. What do I want from you? I want you. I already said. I mean, I would instruct you to chill. Like, that's too much, homie. That's too much for you putting a lot on a preseason game. 20 minutes into a preseason game. You putting a lot into 20 minutes on a preseason game. Throw in the white flag. I mean, this is your typing, so I can't tell if you're being hyperbolic. I hope so. I hope you're being hyperbolic, but even that is like a little extra. I already said it was bad. But to wave the white flag, come on. That's a loser mentality. You can't like no. Exactly. We've seen this before. And it's a preseason game. They might lose by 50. I don't know. And if they do, we're going to just say, oh, throw away the season? Nah. Come
I
on.
don't know. They lose by 50. They lose by 50. That might be a problem for me. 50 is different. A 30 piece, I understand. 50, you straight up gave up. But I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening at all. Because I'm sure the other part of this is they're looking at who they want on this roster, but they're also trying stuff out. They're trying out sets. They're trying out, different reads. They're trying out of bounds plays, all that kind of stuff. They're going to score. It's going to get better, y'all.
What would I do if I was the coach? I would be like, play defense and make some baskets. That's what I would do. And I'd be like, all right, who's trying to make this squad? That's what I would say straight up. Who's trying to make this squad? Oh, you trying to make this squad? Then go show me. Give me this lead. That's what I would do. And that was it. That would be it. I wouldn't be throwing things. I wouldn't be mad. What's there to get mad about? I'd be like, y'all either going to make my job hard or easy. Are you trying to make the squad or nah? That would be it. And I'd be like, all right, I'm going to let you have your time back. I'll see you, when the buzzer hits 7.
And if y'all are, I don't know how many of y'all are actually looking at the stats versus just having reactions to it. But really the only difference in this game, the Liberty are shooting 28.6%. The Sky are shooting 45.5%. The Sky have gotten up 9 more shots than the Liberty have. Liberty have double the amount of turnovers that the Sky have right now. Like there are simple things that Sandy Brondello, she can talk about at halftime, but at the end of the day, like with every sport, the players got to go out on the court and do it. And the strategy of this game, like Eric has been saying this whole time, is not necessarily to win a preseason game. That's not the goal. That's not the agenda here. That's not, it's nice. But this is, this is exhibition, people. Think, I don't know. Just it's not that deep yet. It's not that deep yet.
Yeah. I just I don't know if it showed up. It doesn't show up as a hyperlink. I don't know. But I'll show you the stats. We can do the stats. Hold up.
All right, people. I'm about to have to run. My bedtime is 9:30 tonight. I told myself my bedtime.
I told myself.
We gonna try to go to bed by 9:30.
And we appreciate you coming through, though.
For sure. I saw you put it in the Slack. I said I need to jump in here at least for a little bit. Let me try.
Hey, let's go. But here are the stats that Mish is talking about. Here's the box score.
Yeah, I'm looking at ESPN's because sometimes the WNBA it's horrible, but the WNBA site sometimes has
that's true.
Errors in it. So, but
I like the game score here, but yeah, fast break points, points in the paint, biggest lead, bench points. Now that's interesting. Bench points. I always like looking at bench points, turnovers. To what Misha was saying, points off of turnovers. So yeah, it's all right there.
Yep.
But all right, Grandma.
Lucky I ain't coming here in my bonnet. I would have been right here, cozied up. Look, I got my
hey.
Don't play with me.
Hey,
don't play with me.
Yo, I gotta do my deep condition tonight.
I know that's right.
Well, we appreciate you coming through, Mish, and we're gonna do a watch along next week. New York Liberty, Indian Fever. So we're gonna get to see Caitlin. The C stands for Charter Flight Clark.
Okay, that's a good one. Okay, I give it to you.
Yo, charter flights, hilarious.
All right, y'all.
We're gonna talk about that one. Have a good night.
Have a good night, everybody.
Oh man, charter flights. I'm happy to see it. It was interesting how the news broke, though. The New York Liberty, the WNBA, or I don't know who put this together, but there were a limited amount of media that was invited to hear the commissioner speak, and she laid out the charter flight plan, but she didn't say when it was starting. She didn't give any numbers, to what I understand. So it's very strange. I mean, I also don't understand why the commissioner wouldn't do like a press conference and make it public, as opposed to just inviting a handful of journalists and having them tell the news. Like, that just seems very strange to me. That being said, from some of what was reported, it was alluded to that the viability of the league is in a secure enough place where charter flights can be implemented. And it was alluded to that some of that stability and the viability and the stability of the viability was due to a forthcoming broadcast and media rights deal. But again, like, why would you invite media and then only give portions of the story? Why not just wait until you can unroll that until you can announce the full thing? And there's no start time. I mean, the season starts next week, and we still don't have details. So, like, on the one hand, I think it's great, but on the other hand, it's like, what are we even talking about? I reached out to the WNBPA, and also Sandy Brondello confirmed that the teams did not know that this announcement was coming today. So it doesn't seem like there was any conversation. I don't know if there was a conversation with the Players Association. I will follow up and ask that. But if there was a conversation with the Players Association, that conversation never trickled down to the players. So this was something that the league decided, which I also find interesting, because charter flights was a massive piece, at least potentially, to what the PA wanted to negotiate, and that they might want to opt out. So although this is good, with no details, with no conversation, perhaps with the Players Association, with no guidelines, I have more questions than we have answers right now. So in theory, it sounds great, but no idea what this even looks like. Are there going to be limitations? Is there a certain budget? Like, we literally know nothing except that the commissioner told a room full of, I don't even know how many people, that there's a plan, coming that we'll see this season. So, forgive me if I'm not super excited about it. $24 million. Okay, so I wonder if those are newer numbers, because I know there were some numbers put together because there were certain charters that were going to be allowed this regular season. But yeah, I have no idea. Oh, what a take. What a take by Angel Reese. Whoop, Benaja and Marina got into it a little bit. Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. Private jets. I mean, again, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I have no details. And then I reached out to the league, and it was like, oh, read this article. And I'm like, first of all, I already did that. Second of all, I'm not asking what the Indiana Star said. I'm asking what the WNBA is saying. That's my question. Very strange. But I did reach out to the PA, and the PA, let me see, I have the comment or the statement. The PA sent this to me, and it's from Nneka Ogwumike. I am thrilled to see a significant change in policy that will permit and provide charter travel across all teams throughout the 2024 season and going forward. On behalf of the players, I express my appreciation and support for a bold move by the commissioner and team governors that in turn shows that they understand and value the health and safety of players. It is time to be transformational. It is time to bet on women. Nneka Ogwumike. I'll put this in the chat. This is the statement that the PA sent to me about charters. I also tweeted it. But yeah, I don't know. More question than answers. Yeah, I saw a few. What's her name? So it looks like the Associated Press, ESPN. I think the Indiana Star was there. Yeah, I don't know. The question, the quotes are. I mean, they seem like sound bites, as opposed to an actual plan. Like I don't know what the actual plan is. So yeah. I don't know. I don't know. There's no information. I don't like half-baked information. Like if you're gonna report on chartered flights, like give us the details. Like I don't think you're winning any cool points by just saying eventually we'll announce that we have a plan to announce charter flights. Like that was a waste of time. Ooh! See that no look by Vandersloot? The CC and AB Express coming to a city near you. I mean, I didn't even see that comment, and I can't. I literally can't. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Not on today, not on ever. See ya. Like that's just wild. We're not doing that. I'm gonna need us to box out. I'm gonna need somebody to box out. I think Sabrina got a piece of that last shot up. Michaela Onyenwere. First ever, right? Rookie of the year for the New York Liberty? I think so. Just missing shots. Shots aren't falling. That was the problem in game 4 as well. On the Sabrina getting smoked. At least she, she was a step behind and still got the foul, but At least she stayed with her and didn't just let her blow by her. But yeah. Sab's got to get better. Hey, Sherrod with the steal. Sherrod with the drive. Sherrod with the make. Huh. Fast and quick. I like it. Ooh. Ooh. There you go, Damien. Sherrod in the game. That's for you. Something's got to give. There you go. What you got to say now? What you got to say now? Suffocating defense. Love to see it. Love to see it. There you go. Sherrod looking good. 2 possessions already making an impact. See, that's what I would have said at halftime. Are you trying to make this team or not? Go out there. Show me that you're trying to make this team. Oop, look at Candace Parker dunking. Guess she didn't need the rim lowered. I mean, Sandy told us before this game. I asked her, what are you expecting? They're going to play an intense style. You know, the New York Liberty, they got to pick it up. They'll figure it out. And you know what? They'll figure it out. That's exactly what Teaspoon said after the Chicago Sky lost to the Minnesota Lynx in their first preseason game. This is preseason game numero uno for the Liberty. Number 2 for Chicago. She's a dog. She's a dog. I love it. Came in, immediately made an impact. And that's the kind of guard, that's the kind of reserve player, bench player that the New York Liberty need. Right now, if Sandy is making cuts in 40 minutes, how are you cutting Sherrod? I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. She's a spark plug right now. Spark plug. That's what you need. All right, here we go. Yup, Sherrod out on the floor. Again, pestering defense. Now on that, Jonquel Jones actually comes out of position, but Sherrod had a good trap there, but you got to keep it. Got to match her energy. Ooh. Got to match her energy. Got to match her energy. I mean, JJ just got shook. She wanted a travel or a foul. But you got to stick with that. Angel Reese staring down Stewie. That's hilarious to me. I mean, Angel Reese got a lot of confidence. I don't always know that I agree that it needs to be that confident, but she's putting it out there. And there you go. What do I know? That's 2 possessions where she got the double team and busted right through it. What do I know? Angel Reese is like, girl, you don't know what you're talking about. I didn't realize she was a Taurus. Let's go. That kind of makes sense, though, if I'm being honest. I don't know. I'm telling you right now, Sherrod makes the roster. You asked my predictions. Now that I've seen them play, I go by eye test. Sherrod better make this dang team. Because ain't nobody coming with the energy she's coming with. Woo! I'm a here and now person. I can't talk about people I haven't seen play. Like, to me, that don't make no sense. You know? Oh. Even that, I'll take that foul. Sherrod, she sized it up. You can't let them get a basket like that in transition. That's what you call a professional foul. That's what you call a professional foul. The last line of defense, they're either they're whatever you got to do to make sure they don't get a basket. Oof. These passes are looking tragic. Yeah, Sherrod's going to get these fouls, but honestly, Liberty's getting crushed in transition. And again, the only person quick enough or motivated enough to stop Chicago by any means necessary right now is Sherrod. I don't know what you want me to say, Damien. I said what I said. If I'm looking at this game, one player who's making this team out after this game is Sherrod. If this is all we have to go by, that's what I'm saying. Because nobody else is giving you any energy. Period. So I'm not doing any other hypotheticals because to me that this it's not a there's nobody else showing me anything. They got room for Sherrod from what I'm seeing. I don't see how you pass up on it. Playing very tentative, very meek. And, that can't happen. Agreed. Agreed on this too. Chicago's hungry. Liberty look a little bit like they got hit in the mouth. Oops, Sherrod lost that assignment. LA did a good job there pulling her out. But Sherrod needed to see that she needed to help there. I don't know. If defense was a focus, I'm not seeing it right now from the New York Liberty. I haven't been in love with what the Liberty did in the offseason. And this is why. Like, to me, these are not battle-tested players. And I'm of the opinion that if you were, you got to game 4 of the finals, you don't need much. But one thing that helps win championships is having battle-tested players. And yeah, there's a place to have rookies and battle-tested NCAA players, but this is the pros. This is the big leagues. You need WNBA battle-tested players if you want to be in a conversation to be going for a championship. This is a very young team, a very inexperienced team right now on paper for the New York Liberty, inexperienced in the WNBA. That's not how I would build a roster. But, if you think you have enough with the starting 5, then I guess you want to get young and quick on the bench. But there's a cost-benefit analysis that you have to put in. And that's why, hey, listen, I don't know. They got rid of a lot of veterans. And you have to balance how much you're giving up, to retool. Is it too much? I wasn't surprised to see Steph Dolson walk out the door. I was not as thrilled to see Willoughby go to Connecticut. I don't know if she ever got a fair shot, but, injuries and whatnot. And, I would have liked to see Willoughby get another shot. But, these other players, they're getting their first taste of the W tonight. And the reality of it is some of them might not get another shot. It's 2 preseason games. Yeah, Sherrod's making this squad. If I'm the GM, she's making the squad. She's making the squad. She's making the squad. And I'm not worried about other players right now. Oh, she didn't have her feet set. Good idea, though. She came over. That wasn't even her defensive assignment. She comes over. She just got there a little bit late. She was still moving. But the instincts are there. The speed is there. The hustle and determination is there with Sherrod. And that's good enough for me. Are there players that will join the team and maybe take her spot? Maybe. But right now, she's a lock as far as I'm concerned. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I can't speak to the breadth of work of these players I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. I'm looking at Sherrod right now, and I like how she plays. I think it's a good fit for the New York Liberty. Is she going to get a lot of minutes? Is she going to get starting minutes? Absolutely not. But that's not what the New York Liberty need. What they need is what she's giving right now. And nobody else is matching her energy in this second unit. Not even close. Not even close. That's a problem. That's a problem. So I'm not worried about Sherrod. Everybody else needs to be a little bit worried, as far as I'm concerned. I'm not impressed. Martinez needed to look at the cutter. So they put Thornton out here now. Thornton, as I've said, is going to be the glue. They're just now starting to put a veteran with some of these rookies to try and get this. To me, this is trying to get the game back under control. So I want to see what Sherrod and KT are going to do. I think that's interesting. Sherrod and KT, yeah. Let's see what they're about to do. But Oh, they just took Sherrod out. But, you know, Davis. Oh, Davis. Not anything to write home about. Not yet. She's definitely hashtag quick. Exactly. Exactly. I'm curious to see what Sandy does in the fourth quarter. She was non-committal about like how much time she was going to give starters versus the second unit. It was leaning towards she wanted to really get a good look at the second unit, but putting Kayla Thornton in here again, giving Thornton some minutes, I think is to try and anchor this and to make it respectable. I don't know. Now I'm going to ask the question that you asked me. What do you want from me, Damien? What do you want from me? I also said I wasn't impressed, you know, but I'm not a notebook GM. I like to see players in action. On paper, a lot of you like international talent, and there's a place for that. But I don't. I'm not. I wasn't going to commit to saying JK messed up. I don't understand it, but I'm not a GM. I didn't understand the moves on paper. I thought they were a little bit light. But you got to see it, or at least that's what I believe. This isn't looking good. So now the adjustments. Will Jonathan Kolb make decisions before the next preseason game? Maybe. Maybe. Maybe not. And if he doesn't, then that puts the onus on Sandy. Now Sandy has to figure it out. But it's one preseason game. It certainly isn't pretty. But now you got to see what the team does. But I'm not tripping over losing a preseason game. These are not the games that they have to win. Sure, you want to win every game, but they don't have to win this game. And if they don't, honestly, they might learn more from a loss, because that's what preseason is about. So I'm not tripping over this. I don't like it. It doesn't look good. There's some things that I would like to see do different, but it's one game. It's one damn game. I like that Tina Thompson feature. I think Tina Thompson. I think Davis can get there. I feel like she's shell-shocked coming into the big city and the melee of entering the W. That could be it too, you know? And that's when actually I was listening to what Stewie told me at Media Day for Team USA. She said the biggest advice that she gives to rookies is find a vet. Find a vet that you can talk to and ask them questions, help them get you as comfortable as possible, because the reality of the situation is, Davis gets a little bit more leeway. She gets a little bit more slack because she's the 11 pick. In theory, right? In theory, the higher the pick you are, the more likely you are to make a team. It's not a golden rule, but in theory, that's how it goes. But at the end of the day, you still have to perform. And you got to remember that other people are playing for our jobs as well. So yeah, I think the New York Liberty, especially the second unit, I think you're right. They do look shell-shocked. And they got to get over that. They got to get over it, period. That's why the W is a hard league to make. Thank you. Let's not press the panic button. That's what I'm saying. Thank you. You nailed it. Let's not press the panic button. There's no need for that. Oof, that was a tough hit. But you know what else? This is a young squad. They're long, but they're also lean, as in they don't have a lot of muscle mass. And another thing that's happening with the New York Liberty right now is they're getting knocked off the ball. They're getting knocked off the ball. So, gotta fix that. Gotta fix that for sure. No. Sandy is a very nice person, and she's tough too. She's tough, but not unnecessarily tough. She's not just going to yell at people for the sake of it. I think Sandy will be fine. I think she'll be fine. I like this. The sky is hungry with a lot of players that have a point to prove. And that's how their coach plays. That's how their coach plays. I'm not surprised that they're coming out like that. Not at all. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, this doesn't look great. But the Liberty, they're getting pushed off the ball. They don't have that fire, that hunger. And so we heard what the New York Liberty wanted to do in the offseason. This preseason game, maybe they didn't do enough. That's my immediate reaction. Do I know for sure? Am I going to say absolutely they didn't do enough? No, I don't think we know that yet. But if the idea was just to get the starters going a little bit, right now they can't rely on the second unit. But also they have Gardner, Burke, Sabali that are not playing. So some of the players that we're seeing on the second unit playing will not make the New York Liberty roster. You also have to keep that in mind. Some of those players are not making the roster. And honestly, I think we can kind of see why. Oh, yeah. Sandy is very nice, extremely polite. She believes in empowering her players instead of telling them what to do. That being said, she will rip into them when she has to. And I think to some effect, that type of coaching can be effective, especially if you have a particular type of player. Because if Sandy is yelling at you, then you know you messed up. You know you messed up. If you have a coach that yells all the time, at some point you're just like, all right, they're just excitable. I'm not going to take it serious. But if you have a coach that's always yelling and they're quiet, then you're like, wait, why are you quiet? If you have a coach that's always quiet and then they're yelling, then you're like, whoa, why are you yelling? So you have to be able to, you can't just be all one way, because then your players will start to tune you out. Well, yeah, Chicago's playing exactly like I thought a teaspoon team would play. I don't even know what to say to that comment. First of all, the Knicks of the 90s, I don't even know what that means. And I mean, I watched the Knicks in the 90s, but I'm not making the connection. Sandy's a great coach. I know you don't like her, Damien, but again, just say you don't like her. You don't have to make comps to the Knicks of the 90s and stuff like that. Just say you don't like her. I do like her. I think Sandy's a great coach. The only other coach I would want to see as far as the coaches that are in the WNBA right now would be Becky. Because I think Becky is also a great coach. Teaspoon also a great coach. But there's nothing wrong with Sandy Brondello as a coach. I like Sandy Brondello as a coach a lot. You're gonna get rid of Sandy Brondello off of one preseason game. Nah. 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 And Angel Reese embarrassing Stewie? Why? Why? Because of what Stewie said, that it's going to be a tough transition. It is a tough transition for most rookies. This is preseason. Angel Reese is not playing significant minutes against WNBA starters right now. And there's any WNBA player will tell you, I don't know, who's your GOAT? I don't know. Is it Diana Taurasi? Is it Sue Bird? Is it Brianna Stewart? Is it A'ja Wilson? Every one of them has had a game where they played in the WNBA against a team that on paper they should have beat, and they got beat. Because this is I don't even know what that means. She embarrassed Stewie? What? No. What Stewie? Let's look it up. How many minutes has Stewie played? And she got embarrassed by Reese? Come on. Let's see. Sabrina Ionescu's played less than 18 minutes. Vandersloot played 18.9 minutes. Brianna Stewart played, 21 minutes. When's the last time she played? I don't think we haven't seen Stewie in the second half at all. Let's see. Angel Reese played 18 minutes. Dana Evans, I got to update this. Make sure it's up to date. Yeah, almost 19 minutes for Angel Reese. Oh, I forgot Kaiser's on this team. I don't understand that, but whatever. That's a whole nother thing. Oof, Elizabeth Williams. I really like her game. That's the guy from Indiana. That was a really creepy thing that he said. I mean, people have been suspended from covering teams for less. So, I don't know that I have an opinion. I thought what he said was disgusting. It was kind of gross. And you know what? Unfortunately, I've had things like that, worse things said to me. I've been in situations like that, but I'm glad to see that perhaps, hopefully, this stuff is being taken seriously, because it's inappropriate. It's unprofessional. It's inappropriate. All right, Kaiser. I didn't even recognize her, to be honest. I didn't even recognize Kaiser. She's had an interesting. Indiana had several years there where their first, not first overall, their first round draft picks were not sticking with them on their team or even in the league. Very strange. Very strange. I'll be honest, I didn't really get to experience BAM. I had a station where I was interviewing players shortly after they got drafted, so I didn't get to experience like what they're showing right now. I didn't get to see all of that in action. I was already backstage, so I can't really speak to which one was better. I will tell you that it was hot as Hades in BAM. I didn't like that. I was like dehydrated by the end of the night, freaking sweating bullets. Um, so I think that I love the history of BAM. But Spring Studios, from a working perspective, was a better work environment, in my opinion. But BAM looked really nice on TV, but I wasn't in that part of the areas. I was all this that they're showing right now with her behind the scenes. That's where I was. All these white walls. That's where I was. I wasn't in, I wasn't in the seats. So I don't know. What did y'all like as a viewing audience? Yeah. Like Angel Reese got that dog in her. She got that dog in her. But we already knew that. But the Chicago team, they feeling real good. New York got some work to do. New York got some work to do. One thing about Sandy, I know I said this a lot last year, she's not going to rush the process. Sometimes that drives me crazy, I'll be honest. But, she's got championships and the New York Liberty have none. So she's going to let her team figure it out. And I respect that. I really do. I really, really do. And Stewie, I like that Stewie is still talking to the team on the bench. It looks like Stewie, Sloot, KT, Sab, Benija, like they're locked in. They're not playing minutes right now. They haven't played since the first half because that's the game plan, but they're locked in. This is an assessment game. This is to set the baseline. This is not a game. I mean, sure, if you win, it feels good, right? It feels good to win. But if the New York Liberty win this game, it looks good. It's an easy story for people in the media to talk about. But you run the risk of, not learning what you need to learn. If I had to guess, Sandy's objective for tonight was not, the ultimate objective is not to win the game. Do you want to win the game? Of course. But if you're not giving these players a chance to show what they learned, that should be the main objective. No one gets any points in the standings after this game. These stats don't count for anything. They're recorded, but they don't count for anything. And again, I find Sandy to be a very patient coach. Whether that makes you uncomfortable or not, I don't care in a preseason game. But I rather know now who are the dogs I'd rather know now than to mess around, have a team, think they're ready, and then you find out too late that they're not. Is this embarrassing? Sure. Is it ugly? Yes. Is it disappointing? You dang skippy it is. But there will be so much that the New York Liberty should be able to learn from this game. They're not boxing out. They're not making their shots. They're getting out hustled. They're not connecting on passes. There was not a lot of hustle. I mean, you're starting to see now the second unit feel a little more comfortable. They're not going to win this game, but you've got 3 minutes to try and win a roster spot. That's what this game is for. Nobody wants to lose. I'm not saying anybody wants to lose, but they're going to learn. They're going to learn today. You know, the shots are too long. The shots are too hard. So they got to work on that. The touch isn't there for the New York Liberty. That's evidently clear. The defense is undisciplined right now. That's evidently clear. Rafiq, what are we talking about? What? I don't know. I have no idea. I have no freaking idea. And it's not going to be Angel Reese carrying this guy anywhere. They've got Elizabeth Williams. They've got Marina Mabry. They have Bree Turner. Cardozo hopefully will be healthy. You think this is going to be a one-woman show of Angel Reese? They've got Diamond DeShields, Izzy Harrison, Dana. Come on, Dana Evans, and you think Angel Reese is going to be the player to carry the team? Nah, man, stop. Oof. Come on now. She was open all the way down the court. Nobody got back. Nobody ran on coverage. Like, to me, that was a bad defensive possession for the New York Liberty. There's no reason that Kaiser should have been that open, that wide open. Literally everyone knew she was, as soon as Dana had a seam, that ball was going to Kaiser. You know, I said 50 points. We're about there. Yeah. Sab getting smoked defensively. Defensive assignments, not great in this game. Absolutely not great. Frazier just let Evans blow right by her in that clip. Not great. Not great. I mean, I said 50 earlier. Mish was like, 50 is crazy. I mean, it was looking like it. I mean, I'll call a spade a spade. It was looking like a 50-point game. And the Liberty didn't make adjustments. You know? And I think Sandy letting them play. And I'm okay with that for this game. I see what Damian put in there. Yeah, you got to make adjustments for the next game. And if it looks like this again in the next game, then we have big questions to ask. But as far as I know, Sandy's like, let them play. Let me see what I'm working with. You know, they're on the road, so I can't say that. I don't think they're going to get practice other than a shoot around, but I think they'll probably have film. There's plenty of film to look over after this game. Not great. Not great. I'm going to hop into post game and see what Sandy has to say, because this is wild. Are they even going to get to 50? They got a minute 54 to make another basket. She's a weak link defensively, which means, in my opinion, that means she's got to be making her shots to make up for it. But again, Sandy's used to having a guard on her squad. If that would have went, I would have been like, you know what, pack it up. Kaiser out here making shots. Oh, man. I don't know. Are they going to... They're very easy. They're easy off the ball. They don't have strength. The New York Liberty are not a strong squad. The second unit is not strong. They might be long, but they're lean and long. They're not strong. They're not WNBA strong right now, and that's a problem. So, you want to talk about on paper and all of these hypotheticals, how they play in Europe. You got to play in the WNBA. The New York Liberty are not strong on the ball. They're getting pushed around. They can't hold on to the ball. That's a problem. That's a big problem for me because, the Liberty are always going to be a target for a physical type of game. And you playing in New York, baby, you can't be a punk on the ball. You can't be a punk on the ball. And they're getting punked a lot. They're long, but they're not big. They're not big. And that means that Stewie's going to be overworked, that JJ, help us all. JJ's going to be overworked. KT's going to be overworked. Those are our strongest players. And Stewie's lean also. She's very long and lean, but she plays a strong game. She plays firm on her feet. This is not a firm on your feet Liberty team right now. That also means that Sabrina and Sloot have to drive more, because if any of this second unit makes the squad, they are not going to be a team that's going to be able to absorb a lot physically. So that's where, when you get Niara back, you get some of that. Rebecca Gardner doesn't really give you much by way of that. So that's where, Steph Dolson played a very specific role. And why I always like Steph Dolson is because she comes off the bench and she gives you some muscle. She gives you some solid body, great screener. Sometimes her screen is going to knock you on your butt, but you're going to feel it when you play against Steph Dolson. Don't have a lot of that on this Liberty roster. I don't like that. I don't like that. But we'll see. We'll see. Not great. Not great, everybody. But I'm going to hop in these post-game. Not great. I mean, you know who else I would take right about now? Michaela Onyenwere. I would take Michaela. Because there's not a lot of muscle on the bench for the New York Liberty, and that's a problem. So you want my analysis? Not a lot of muscle. That's going to be a problem. All right, folks. Thank you so much for joining. Maybe. But remember, this is not the final squad. I have to emphasize that. This is not the final squad. So now ball is in Sandy's court, but in my opinion, even more so in Jonathan Kolb's court. Was this just a bad outing? Was this, rookie kind of deer in headlights? Or are there other problems? To me, it's a little bit more than, the rookie nerves. We're not strong. We're not a strong team. That's going to be our problem. To me, this is more of a front office / general manager thing that needs to be fixed. That being said, again, you're integrating some players that you're expecting will make this roster who are not on the court right now. Niara is number 1 on that list. Thank you. I appreciate you coming through. Thank you for your coverage. And yeah, it's not great. That was ugly, but necessary. If I'm Jonathan Kolb, I'm putting my squad together, my front office squad, and having a serious conversation. Because, I mean, if it's me, there might be some cuts announced tonight. Or even adding players, you know, to come to camp. Because that ain't going to fly. If that's what your second unit is looking like, then our 5 starters are going to be gassed. Our 5 starters are going to be absolutely gassed. And they didn't even look particularly good. Shots aren't falling. A little bit too much of like independent, not really ISO ball, but everyone looking for their own shot instead of playing through the offense. So there you go, Donovan. There goes the upside. Oh yeah, for sure. If I'm the front office, I'm making cuts. You got like that can't happen again for the next preseason game because it's the last one you have. So, yep, some people are getting called into the back of the bus, you know, because they're on the road. But there's some conversations happening. But now the question becomes, do the New York Liberty have enough in training camp or that they can fill their roster with? I have my doubts. I'm not going to say yes or no, but I'm definitely leaning toward no. But that's because on paper, not everyone on that roster passes the eye test as far as WNBA ready. And again, physicality was a massive issue. You got to hold on to the ball, baby. You got to hold on to the ball, baby. That wasn't happening tonight. So, woo-wee. The things can only get better. Yep, CT is next. That's right. That's happening on Thursday. I'm supposed to head up to that game. So stay tuned. I might have reports from Mohegan Sun. I'll be at the ESPN W Summit, and every time I'm like, oh, it's just Connecticut. I'll make my way. But I forget that's the part of Connecticut that's actually closer to Boston. So hoping I'll get there in time for the shoot around and stuff, but probably not likely because I need to be in the city. But stay tuned. Thank you for watching. If you're not already subscribed, please do that. We're so close to monetization from our subs. And join the Patreon posse. When I'm traveling, doing stuff for Black Rosie Media, it's coming out of my pocket. So any way that you can support, we appreciate it. We have big things planned for this year. We want to experiment a little more, including with more live streams, watch-alongs. So if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and do that. Become a part of the Patreon posse. We have some fun stuff coming up as part of the Gotta Get Up Overtime podcast, which is extra bonus content. And for Thursday, we're not going to do a watch-along because I'm expecting to be at the game. But if that changes for whatever reason, I'll let y'all know. But make sure you're following Black Rosie Media because either way, I will be keeping a keen eye on this game. And I am going to now hop over to post-game media because I'm very curious to hear what Sandy Brondello has to say about this. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to one another. I'll catch you on the next live stream. Peace out, everybody. Thanks again for coming through.